Okay, number 2 says find the area of the shaded region. I clearly see that. It's figure 1 on page 2. It says it's bounded by 2 separate curves over here. One's a cubic, one's a quadratic. Looking at it, I don't know. I'm going to look at this point over here, and I'm going to say it roughly looks like the number 2 to me. Now, what I want to do is I want to plug it in here, and I want to see what happens. And let's write that down. What would you get? You get y equals, well, that's 3 times 4, which is 12, plus 8 minus 10. Well, that would be 10 then, right? Because 12 plus 8 is 20, and 20 minus 10 is 10. So I'm going to say that looks roughly right. But I also want to check it in the second curve. What's the second curve going to be? Well, it's going to be y equals. I think y is 10 now. I'm on the second curve now. What's that going to equal to? Well, 2 would give you 8. Then you're going to get minus 8 plus 10. That also works out. So this point is really good to go. All right, let's do the next point. Let's do this point over here. Now looking at it, I don't know. It looks about minus 2 to me. I'm not really sure about the y at this point, but I don't know, maybe minus 7. Who knows? Let's take a look at this. I'm going to plug it in on the second equation, quadratic. What do you get? Y equals. Well, let's see. You get 3 times 4, which is 12. Then you get minus 8, minus 10. And that looks like it's going to give me minus 6. Let me just check to make sure that's true. 12 minus 8, that's going to be 4. Yeah, minus 6. Right now, I'm a doubting Thomas. I wonder, does that really work in this equation, the cubic, more difficult? Let me write it down for you, though. And what do you get over here? Well, let's see. I'm going to plug in this point here. So on that cubic equation, you get minus 6. That's what the y is, at least I believe. And then I get minus 2. So I get minus 8. And then I get, let's see, if that's minus 2, I get minus 8. And I get plus 10. What does this give you? Minus 6, minus 16 plus 10. Yeah, that works out beautifully. All right, so I'm going to say I'm convinced that these are the right points. Now, granted, someone says, well, I could just read that and trust myself. You could. I don't trust myself, though. Whoops, sorry about that. I know these are true now. So the question becomes is, what are you going to do now? You're going to find the area, and I'm going to say a representative rectangle over here, something like this over here. This forces me to start thinking about what the differential is, and the differential in this problem over here would actually be x. I'll put this over here. Now, where the x is coming from, minus 2 up to 2. All right? What do you do now? You need to know the upper curve. Well, looking at it, this upper curve is the cubic curve. So what's that going to be? It's going to be x cubed minus 2x squared plus 10 minus the lower curve. And the lower curve, let me just make sure I did it right. X cubed minus 2. Yeah, I did it right. The lower curve is, let's see, 3x squared plus 4x, and then a minus 10. Right, now I got to do that integration. It doesn't look bad as it stands. I mean, his numbers really aren't that bad. And what do you get? You get x cubed. I'm doing the integrand now. Minus 2x squared minus 3x squared is minus 5x squared. And then what do you get? Minus 4x. And then 10 plus 10, which is 20. Okay, I want to point out when you're studying, what you're going to be looking at is, you could certainly be doubting yourself. I just want to see if we got, I would say the first milestone, were we able to get, by the way, this is the area, were we able to get here? Who knows? Maybe we didn't get there, right? So we say minus 2 to 2. I do see that. X cubed minus 5x squared. I do see that. Minus 4x plus 20 dx, I do that. And this is a good place to be if you're here. Now, certainly, if you're there, can you go the next step? And I think you can. I'll write that down for you. These are milestones, by the way. And at that derivative, it's going to be x4 over 4 minus 5x cubed over 3 minus, that's going to be 4x squared over 2, so one of the 2's cancel. All right, so 4x squared over 2 is 2x squared. And then 20x, it's a definite integral, and we're going to go from minus 2 to 2. Now, if you want, you can look at the key to see if you've met that milestone. It's right over here. Next milestone, can I do the arithmetic? Let's put it down. Whoops. upper limit, we're doing 2. So you get 2 to the 4th power. 2 times 2 is 4, 8, 16. 16 divided by 4 is 4. Minus, well, I'm doing the upper limit too. 2 cubed is 8. That's minus 40 thirds. Minus, well, 2 squared is 4, and 2 times 4 is 8. And then you get 40. We'll do that later. Let's go to the lower limit. What do you get there? 4. Again, minus 2 to the 4th power is 16. 16 divided by 4 is 4. Then what do you get next? You actually get plus 40 thirds. All right, minus 2 cubed is minus 8. That's minus 40. Minus 40 is plus 40. Then what do you get? You're going to get minus 8. All right, minus 2 squared is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. That's minus 8. Then what do you get? Minus 40. Now, granted, mistakes do happen. I like to concentrate what I have, though. And I'm looking at it, and I'm going to clip things off one at a time. And I like to stick with the whole numbers, or I should say integers. 4 minus 4, there's nothing there, right? Minus 8, minus a minus 8, nothing there. Then I get 40, minus 40, that's 80. All right, let's do this. Minus 40 thirds is minus 80 thirds. What is this going to give me? Well, certainly thirds. Let's see, you'd get 3 times 80 minus 1 times 80, which is 2 times 80, 160. We prefer the answer that way. Could I have made a mistake? Of course I could have made a mistake. Let's see if we got it, and we have it here. Time to move to the next question. Thank you.